right, fifth grade. Today we are going to work on comparisons. So these boxes up here are actually called tape diagrams. It's just a way to show, how many more, how many less items we have in different groups. Okay, so here is our first problem. There are 3 times as many deer as moose in the forest. If there are 5 moose, how many deer are there? So we are totally going to pretend that my writing is going to be glorious, okay? So if we have 5 moose, how many deer are there? So I have the one box for the 5 moose, okay? Each box is the same size. It represents 5 of something, okay, whichever group we're in. Okay, so that's a 5, here's a 5, and that's another 5. Your notes will be far better than mine, okay? So if there are 3 times as many deer as moose, I'm gonna label this. I'm gonna put an M for moose here, okay? There are 3 times as many deer as moose. So here's 1, 2, 3 groups of deer compared to 1 group of moose, right? So, and you guys know how to solve this. There are 3 times as many. Those are keywords for multiplying, okay? So we have 3 times as many deer as 5 moose. Well, you definitely know you would do 3 times 5, right? To get 15 deer, okay? So you know how to figure that out just by multiplying, but here's just a different way to show you how to compare and multiply. Okay, on to the next slide. Farmer Will has 6 times as many goats as cows. He has 7 goats. How many cows does he have? Okay, so I am going to, did I set that up correct? Oh yes, okay, good. So here he has 7 goats. I'm gonna go 6 times as many cows, okay? So I'm going to draw my tape diagram. Each box represents 7. Okay, so really I have 7 times 6, which is, you got it, 42 cows, okay? And we're going to ignore this box down here that I'm dragging from, okay, because it's not 7 times, it's 6 times as many. I just had to accommodate for my space there, okay? So that's just a visual, quick glance. You know that he has way more cows than he does goats, right? Okay, this one's a little trickier because they give us a fraction. Fun fact, we have been doing fractions in notes up to this point. You just didn't really know it, okay? So, Wyatt practiced the trumpet for 10 hours last week. This week he practiced only 1/5 as long. How long did Wyatt practice this week? Okay, all right, so he practiced the trumpet for 10 hours. Okay, that's gonna represent 1/5. Okay, so, oh my word, this is frustrating. There we go. So to make 1 whole, we're going to do 5/5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he practiced the trumpet for 10 hours last week. This week, he only practiced 1/5 as long. So this box up here represents how much he practiced this week, and that represents all of his practice time last week, okay? So we have to take that full 10 hours, or this long tape diagram, and split it into 5 equal parts. How do you take 10 and split it into 5? Yep, you got it. Divide 10 by 5, and you get what? 2. So each box represents 2 hours. So go ahead and write 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Add them all up. You get 10. So each box represents 2 hours. So what does this one box, or 1/5 of that whole thing, represent? You got it. 2 hours. Beautiful work. Okay, this one's kind of a fun one. How many times as many red crayons are there as yellow crayons? Okay, so here let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red crayons. Okay, so I would just write 9 red crayons, okay, or if you want to sketch 9, go for it. How many yellow crayons do we have? Well, you can see there's 3 yellow crayons, right? Now, how many times as many red crayons are there compared to yellow crayons? Well, let's work it backwards. Let's take our number of red crayons, divide it by the number of yellow crayons we have, which is 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So our answer is 3 times as many, because it's asking how many times as many. Okay, this next one you don't have to write in your notes. I'm just gonna talk through the example. Okay, I just made this up, so this is not accurate. We have iPads per classroom. Okay, Binford and Glenfield. So you can see in the key here, one iPad picture actually represents 2 iPads. So instead of drawing out 2, 4, 6 iPads, I just put 3 there, and each picture represents 2. Binford has 12 iPads total. Glenfield has 6, okay, per classroom. Now, write 2 comparisons of this graph. Well, you can see that Binford has twice as many iPads per classroom as Glenfield, right? So that's one comparison. Or if you flip-flop it, Glenfield has, what fraction would it be? Because it's not the same, right? It's not a full graph. Glenfield has half as many in the classroom compared to Binford. Okay, so totally made it up, but that's how you can create your own comparison problems.